Hey guys, welcome to Testing Academy. My name is Pramod and welcome to the 30 days of automation in testing. This is the day 5. Today we are going to explore a new UI testing tool which is called as Cypress, and we are going to discuss about the advantages, disadvantages, as well as what are the major features of Cypress and why you should start using Cypress in that case. And I'm going to explain you one of the demo, and we are going to run a demo also, right? If you're excited to learn this new tool, especially on this day 5 of this automation journey, let's get started. All right, guys. Right. So, if you want to check out the important resources, let me change it to day 5. So, all the resources that you want to download are available at the scrolltest.com/automation day 5, where I'll basically upload this mind map as well as the discussion around this tool. Right. If you want to ask anything, go to apitesting.co for chat/chat. You can discuss with me anything that you would like to do, right? And if you want to basically learn more about the automation, especially, I will highly recommend you to go to the testingacademy.com and see what is there, right? Right. So, guys, just wanted to like tell you that these are the topic that we are going to discuss about. So we are going to discuss what is Cypress, why you should use the Cypress, and what are the major features, and what are the disadvantages. What is the architecture of it? So architecture is very very important, guys, because if you see on the internet, right, people are not discussing about the architecture of the Cypress, right? We are going to run our first test as well as in the Cypress, and we are also going to compare the Selenium versus Cypress in that case, right? So let's get started. Right. So let me zoom out a little bit, and so that you can have a better understanding. So what is this Cypress actually? Cypress, I would say it's probably the best end-to-end UI testing tool that you can think of right now in this 2020, as of now we are discussing, right? It's a front-end testing tool constructed for a modern web application. If you think about the SPA, which is single page application, as well as PWAs, right? Where Selenium has certain disadvantages because of the dynamic content, right? Cypress is a player which basically definitely can have a cutting edge over the Selenium in that case. So definitely I will recommend that it's a front end testing tool, especially for the modern web application, the application that right now you are using, right? So again, Cypress Engine can directly operate inside the browser, so that's why it's very helpful, right? Cypress can modify the browser behavior, and it can listen to the network request, as well as it can manipulate the DOM at the runtime. So it's an automation tool that can do lots of different stuff, and it basically runs inside a browser as a IP. Basically, I'm going to explain you how the Cypress looks like in that case. But again, it can uh, it can behave as a user interaction, as well as it can manipulate the network calls, as well as manipulation of the DOM elements, right? So this is the important point that I would like to discuss. Let me bold it for you, especially. It is that it solved one of the biggest problem with the Selenium, which was the dynamic web page handling, right? So synchronization issues, inconsistency of text due to the element not visible, displayed, and interaction, right? Selenium has a major disadvantages in that case. So that's one of the things that Cypress is solving in that case. It's basically a node module, right, and uses JavaScript, right, and also you can also use custom Cypress command, which are very easy to learn, right? And you can also create your own commands. So yeah, right. It inherits many of the jQuery features as to manipulate the DOM, as well as traversal of the different on the document object that you are discussing, that we wanted to learn, right? So that's all about the what is Cypress. So let's talk about the why we should start using the Cypress, as well as the major feature. I'm going to discuss about it, right? Cypress is a, guys, it's a flake resistance. This is one of the problem with Selenium also, as well as with the other two also. They are very the test cases that we write in those automation tools are very flaky. It means if we run the same test 10 times, there will be a case where two times, due to certain test data environment or certain locators and all, right, it will fail. But if we talk about Cypress, it's very much flake resistant, because it can handle the weight of the commands, as well as the assertion, because it's directly communicating with browser. It understands when the element is loading, when the element is visible. It can wait. I mean, you can say in a simple manner, it has a smart wait logic that it handles that thing, right? Cypress is, again, it's very fast, it's more reliable, and so because it's directly communicate with browser, right? And it can provide you a consistent, stable test cases in that case. It can emulate mock a network request. For example, if you want to have a test case where you want to manipulate the XHRs, stub, spy, right? These kind of stuff that you wanted to do, mocking, right? So that you can do with the Cypress also. You can even perform REST API testing with Cypress, right? If you want to learn more about it, do check out in the video section of the Testing Academy. I have created an in-depth video about this CRUD operation with the Cypress, right? You can record videos, you can debug the videos, you can have a dashboard that can clearly show what are the test case, what is happening with your test case at, right? So this is like a major advantage of Cypress. It support now, it with the Cypress 4.0, it supports multiple browsers. Before that it was only supporting the Chrome, right? But now it can support Firefox, Edge Chromium, Chrome, right? So again, in the probably in the future it will become a multiple browser. So that is again a, I would say, a clearly an advantage in that case. Pay attention to this, right? This is 6 point is very much important, guys. Trust me, this is the one of the feature. That's why Selenium is lagging behind. Cypress test cases are very easy to debug. They have a system. They have a basically a logic of time travel. You can basically move back and forward in your test cases. For example, you have a test case, right? Visiting to Google, typing Cypress, and clicking on the first link, right? If with the one click, they will provide you a GUI where you can basically simulate the second test case directly if you click on it. I'll show you how it can be done. So that's like a time travel, right? And that is one of the important thing that you need to basically have whenever we are doing a debugging in that case, right? So what happens in that case, you can do that. That is very powerful feature for the Cypress, guys, trust me. And let me zoom out this image. Again, the credit goes to the image that you guys have created. So before Cypress, if we talk about, right, so we have to choose a test framework which is like Mocha, Jasmine, QUnit, and Karma. Right now Cypress is basically work with the automation stack of JavaScript, right? So if you talk about in Selenium, Selenium has a different Selenium has a different language support, right? But Cypress only supports JavaScript programming language uh, in that case, right? So if we talk about the test framework, we have Jasmine, Mocha, QUnit, Karma before the Cypress. Assertion libraries are Chai or Expect. You can use it, and in the Selenium also you can use Protector, WebDriver, Nightwatch, as well as you need to use some additional libraries, right? CNN or TestDouble in that case. But if we talk about in Cypress in that case, since Mocha is already integrated, dashboard is already integrated, reporting is already integrated, in Chai JS is already integrated in that case. So it's like a one all-in-one testing framework which contains assertion libraries, mocking, stubbing, reporting, dashboard APIs, all with all the things, right? So that's again a very again it's a very important advantage over it. So that's why it is becoming very much popular in a very short duration of a time. It will, so right now even people, even we are using certain part of it. For example, few of the test cases are running in Cypress because we wanted to have some faster execution in that case. The seventh point here is that advantages of Cypress is that screenshot and videos. Again, it's an awesome feature. You can create a screenshot, you can see the video created, which is very much important while debugging, or if you want to record your execution. You can have a dashboard survey, which is again like a freemium paid certain paid features. As of now, if you want to use Cypress, right, you can use it for free if you only uh, means let me tell you this thing. Even we have certain test cases in Cypress, which and we are using totally free. There's nothing pay service that we are using. If you want to use certain advanced features like there's dashboard surveys, reporting, and all, definitely go with the paid version, right? But uh, we without those services, you can use it, and that's again depends on your again your requirement, right? But that will be enough for you if you are not using that dashboard service and all, right? So that was about the why, what advantages you can say, or why you should start using the Cypress in that case. So let me, right. So again, let's talk about the disadvantage because that is important, right? If we know about the advantages, since we are choosing it as a our primary end-to-end functional, you can say front-end UI testing tool, right? So very limited community support. Again, the documentation is good for Cypress, but community support is very less as compared to Selenium. It only supports JavaScript as of now. So that's again, if you are new to JavaScript, you have to learn about it, learn the JavaScript, and then you can contribute to it. But the easiest part is that JavaScript, again, it's easy to learn, as well as there are already pre-made commands of Cypress that you can directly use. So you don't have to uh, very much incomfortable in JavaScript, but if you know the basics and all, definitely you can implement the right. I'm going to show you in demo that how easy it is to start a hello world or a simple steps in Cypress, right? Multiple tabs. This is like a biggest disadvantage of Cypress as of now, is that it doesn't support multiple tabs as well as certain pop-up supports. So that's again a very you can say a disadvantage. Shadow DOM, which is basically called as DOM within DOM, right? It is not supported, and you can read more about this on this link, right? I'm going to put into the description also. So Shadow DOM is all about a DOM within a DOM, which is basically hidden as of now. So Selenium supports it using certain functions and all, but here, if we talk about Cypress, no support is there, right? There is no support for mobile browser as of now. Only if you want to do web UI automation, then you need to choose the Cypress in that case. So that is a disadvantage, right? So let's talk about the architecture of the Cypress, right? So most testing tool like Selenium operate by running outside the browser. So how Selenium works, I have explained in the previous video also, right? Selenium, basically you run a server. Your server basically communicate with the web drivers, and driver communicate with the browsers. But now you have a node server. Node server is directly communicating with browser. That's why it's fast. So Cypress, in the case of Cypress, right? I'm going to show you a diagram of Cypress. So let's wait. So what you need to do is that you need to go to this URL, and let me show you where is the diagram here. This diagram. Right. Let me zoom it for you. So this is typically a architecture of Cypress looks like. We have a node process, right? So node process is directly communicating with browser. So right now, but our test cases are already running in browser. So we have two iframes. The first iframe will contain the test steps, and the second will contain your application. So your application will run in a iframe basically, and here you will see the test steps, what is happening step by step, and there's a URL box in the browser, so that where you will see the what is the URL that you have opened, right? So all the communication with node and web browser is happening through the HTTP request, and we are using the inbuilt browser APIs rather than a mediate server, which is WebDriver or something like this, right? Basically the Chrome driver, Firefox driver, you don't need that. You can directly communicate using the browser APIs now, right? So that's what the Cypress architecture looks like. So let's come to the exciting part, which is basically now we are going to run the Cypress on our machine. The first thing first is that I would recommend you to install Node.js. Go to Node.js.org and install it. So what you need to do is that click on this link and basically go to the downloads option. Depending upon the OS, what you can do is that they just download, right? And basically you can download depending upon the OS that you have. It's a very simple process. Click next, 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 and your node will be installed in that case, right? So now what you need to do is that let me show you here. When you have installed it, you need to install the Cypress. So npm install savedev uh, Cypress. I will recommend you to install with the global, so you can have -g in that case. So what it will do is the Cypress will be installed globally in that case, right? So that is very efficient in that case. So now to create a new project, you need to type npx Cypress open, which will basically create a dummy Cypress project for you, right? And here you can run with this command. I'm going to put everything in the description, so don't worry about it. So let's go to console. Let's see practically. I have already made a demo for you, but I'm going to do it again. So right now I'm in this folder, right? What I'll do is that let's create a make directory. Let's do chapter 1 demo. Let's go to this chapter 1 demo, right? Now if you haven't installed the Cypress, you need to basically type this command. It basically installed Cypress in that case, but because I have already installed, so I just need to type the Cypress. Right. So now, what will happen in that case is that it basically it will say that, okay, since you are opening this for Cypress for the first time, let's create a new folder and basic the structure of the Cypress. So it will create a dummy project for you, right? And this is the GUI of a Cypress, right? If you and here, as you can see, it supports basically this is where you select your browsers. So you can have Firefox 77 beta, Electron also, right? As of now, here you will have certain more configurations that you want to do, right? And these are the tests already created for you, right? So what I'm going to do here is that so let's open this project. So click on open, and let me find this one where it is. So Cypress, right. So when you have opened into any editor that you want, so the first file is the cypress.json. This is your configuration file. So as of now, since we don't want anything, so we don't want to integrate. If you want to integrate your reportings, if you want screenshot or not, if you want videos switch on and off, everything that you would like to, you can mention here, right? The parent folder will be the Cypress. The After that, it will have certain more folders like fixtures, integrations, plugins, as well as support. So supports and plugins we're going to discuss probably about this in future videos, or you can go to the Cypress playlist that I have made, or if you want to learn about the Cypress, you can go to cypresstutorial.com, right? You can go to cypresstutorial.com. So in the integration example part, you will see all the test cases, right? So what we are going to do is that we're going to, what you can do directly also is that, let me, right, everything is. So if you click on action.spec, right, it will basically starts running. And let me show you so let's click on this one. And as you can see, Chrome has opened. And here is, so this is the iframe, right, where your test case will run. And this is basically this side is basically the steps that it is running. So as of now, we are running lots of test cases, so everything is written. Green marks means it is passing, red will basically fail. So it is basically doing lots of click, double click, form submission, uncheck, selection. So everything that you see right in front end, it is doing so fast, as you can see, right? So it's an amazing tool, that's why. And after that, what you can do is just close it and stop the execution, right? So let's create our first test case in that case. So you can keep all these test cases that you want, or you can delete it also. So let's create let's click here, and let's do a login dot spec.js. So you need to mention the spec.js in that case. So that's how it remembers that if you do dot spec.js, if you save it as this file, it will be a test case in that case. So so this is the structure of Cypress test is very much similar to the Mocha or Jasmine that you have seen. I'm going to explain you by step how it's look like. So basically, you need to type a describe. The first thing is that you need to have a describe block, right? So here, let's say we want to do login to the app, right? And after that, you will have a function, right? And I don't want any name of it as well as the parameter, just a empty function, right? So let's make it here. And every so it will again we have a it block. So it will basically it will say login to the app by visiting, and here you can write your test cases, right? So let me show you what we are doing here actually is that, so let's open this file, right? So this is what we are automating in this case. So we have a URL. We want to basically enter the username here, password here, and click on this login button. If you see, they have already mentioned you this username and password here, so that you can enter, right, and click on this. And after that, you will see a secure URL, basically means you are successfully logged in, right? And let's click the logout again. Right. So first, what you need to do is that you need to find the locators of it first. So if you want to click or if you want to put certain things right into this URL, we want to have some user interaction. So let's click this. Basically, open the Chrome DevTools. You can open it from clicking here, More Tools, Developer Tools, and after that, you can just click here and select the element that you want to click. So we have a ID username, right? And similarly, if we check for password, we have ID password. Let's check the button CSS locator basically. So we have a radius, right? So what you can do here is that you can have certain command, for example, ci.visit. Ci is again an object of label already. So what we are going to do is that we will visit this. So this will take the URL of the page that you want to visit. So ci.get basically means if you want to get a locator. So we have username, right? And after that we want to send keys or type, right? In Selenium we have send keys. Here we have type directly function, and here you can mention what you want to type. So we want to put the Tom Smith, right? And let's copy paste something. So in the past, so we have password. Password is little different. So that we are gonna do, and here we want to click something. Click on this radius button, right? So radius. So this is a class. That's why we have mentioned dot. If it's ID, we want to mention the hash. And here we don't want to type actually. We want to click. Right. If you are using Visual Studio Code, there is a plugin for Cypress. There is support for Cypress, so that you can use, so that you can have a better suggestions in that case, right? So now what you can do is ci dot. So there is. Let me show you what I want to. So I want to verify that the secure page is loading or not, right? So let me show you. If you open this link, let's open this link. So you can verify using this should method, right? So let's copy paste quickly. You can copy this one. So ci.url is basically will check for the URL. What is the current URL after this click method, and it should include index.html. But in our case we have secure, and that is again your test case. So this is your first test case, which will basically log into this application, right? In the previous video, we have successfully we have done this exercise using Selenium. Now we are doing this with the Cypress, right? So to run it, what you need to do is that here, if you see here, you will see the where is our login? Yes, so login spec is available. Let's click on it, and as you can see, it will start running. So let's see, right? Is it has visited? So again, it will just reload again. It will visit the URL, right? And it will type and click on it, and see everything works fine, right? So expectation works fine. Assertion is green, means everything is good, and our test case successfully passed, right? So let's stop it here. Let's stop it, right? So that's how you have basically created your first test case, in that are following me in that case, right? So that's all about it. That was like a running our test cases, and let's discuss about the very small one, which is the Selenium versus Cypress topic. And for the Selenium versus Cypress video, I have already created on my channel. I'll recommend you to watch that video, so that you can have a better basic understanding which one is better and which one is the right tool for you for starting, right? This is the day 5. I hope you are following me on this journey of automation, learning automation testing, right? Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next day.